Tonight I want to talk about this album by King's X. It was their second album, Gretchen Goes from Nebraska. Came out in 1989 on Megaforce Records, which was a branch off of Atlantic Records. They were a three-piece band based in Houston, Texas. They included Doug Pinnick as the bass player and mostly the lead vocalist. Ty Tabor was the guitar player. He did some lead vocals on some songs, but he also sang most of the background vocals. Jerry Gaskell on drums and percussion. He also added vocals and background vocals when needed. This group were critical darlings. The critics loved them. And other musicians and bands loved them too. But they just never broke out. But this album was a great album. It was their second one, like I said before. The highlights of this album are the Rockers Over My Head, which they did an MTV music video for. And it was a good song. Everybody Knows a Little Bit of Something. I'll Never Be the Same. Mission, which was focusing on the hypocrisy of religious people in the United States and elsewhere. Fall on Me. Don't Believe It, It's Easier Said Than Done. Send a Message. They also had their share of ballads. The ballad Summerland, I think they had a video for that too. The Difference, great ballad. Pleiades, talking about the stars, the constellation. The Burning Down, which is the last song on this album. I mean, this is great. They didn't sound like anybody else. They had their own sound. They had the gospel vocals with Doug Pinnick's voice, and the background vocals that sounded like the Beatles. They had that Beatles influence, but that's it. And then the hard rock, the guitar. They were hard to classify. They were played on Headbangers Ball, but they were played on 120 Minutes, which played the alternative stuff. So they were one of those late 80s, early 90s alternative heavy metal bands that started this movement. They put out a lot of records. They're still together and still putting out records now. They should have been better. I love this album. If you hadn't heard it, please check it out. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.